morning, hopesters. Astrid ate a whole loaf of bread this morning. How's your tummy? Are you full? Are you satisfied? Have you ever been that full in your life? She looks miserable, as would be expected. Casey's mom got out some bread to give Damek some toast for his breakfast for the morning, and then she went to get him dressed and left it on the counter, and so Astrid ate the whole thing. Definitely bread belly. I'm worried about what we're gonna see later today, coming out one end or the other. Alicia's over here getting ready. She's gonna give Hudsyn a bath, and then we are, what is it? It's about like 9 o'clock, 9:15. Then at about 10, we got a 10:45 appointment to get her VNS titration number 4. So she's gonna have a funny voice again for a week. And then we're gonna get back and get her off to school. I don't know if Casey's mom is going with us for this. I think she is. And I don't know if Casey's dad's coming back today, but I think he is. So Damek's already at school and Casey's off to work, and I actually forgot to film until just now, but we just had a guy come by and do a new bid for converting the downstairs bedroom for Hudsyn, downstairs bedroom and bathroom, so we can move her down there because we're hoping to get a stair lift put in really soon. Hopefully this year. We're hitting up some charitable organizations to help us out because we're looking at about 16 grand. And that's a lot because we don't make a lot of money yet. So yeah, welcome back to the vlog. Just sitting here trying to get some editing done and waiting for time to go and paying attention to when that explosion happens.
Bye, Hudson. See ya.
You doing that roast?
Yeah.
So we were all ready to head out and getting the last bag to go, and I went, and Hudsyn had a poopy diaper, so we might be running a little behind. Get her out of her wheelchair, get her changed, and now back into the wheelchair with new clothes, and now out to the van. My neighbor is moving. Want to be our neighbor? Apparently we'll get somebody who maybe can take care of their lawn, hopefully. Maybe some people with kids. That'd be great to have some kids next door. Really nice guy, just he never like participated with the neighbors at all. He's very like reclusive. Slowest ramp ever. Just now opened out of all that talking I did. It's a little different getting in the van when I can't do everything. Okay, Alicia is unhooking her. I'm gonna get the door open and the ramp down. This is all backwards for me. Hello. Pretty good. How are you? Yes, sir. Yes.
Backwards.
Yes. Yeah.
You're fine. It's just I couldn't stick to it.
Are you ready?
All right.
Oh, you got a new sticker. Usually, they've been having this person by the front door with a table with like stickers or toys, stuff like that. So she's got like 3 stickers on her already. New sticker, you love it. What does it say? It says, "Pass the glitter." Oh.
What are you doing?
Hi, Smiley.
She does. I know, I keep messing with you.
What are you doing, kid? Alright, so got away with filming a little bit while we're here. I'm wiggling her chair. She thinks it's so funny. We this time we have to sit here for like 10 minutes while they just make sure that she's handling the raising in the dose and they're gonna actually come in and swipe the magnet just to make sure she handles that fine. And then we're also waiting to find out whether she can start her swimming therapy again, because her scars all look good, so she should be able to start getting in the pool again. I think I can't really pull that back, but yeah. So really hoping we get you back to swimming, huh? Yeah, it should be plenty of time. Should be. I mean, I'm supposing, but you know what happens when you suppose? You have soup and you pose.
I was gonna say, wait, that's not the way it goes.
It's assume. She's like,
Scratch my head for a second.
I don't know if you noticed when we did the valet how the guy mentioned, are the doors unlocked? So I don't know if you recall, a couple episodes ago we were here for a titration visit, and I told the story about the guy who said that he couldn't get in. He had to climb over it was the same guy. We were walking out and I was looking for the same guy for the valet, but it turned out to be a different guy that was in the hallway there. I walked right by him. He says, I'm right here.
Definitely gave you a hard time.
Yeah. He had some trouble figuring out how to unlock the van, but at least he didn't have to try to figure out to crawl over the... Doing good. 5th titration, 2 to go. We're in the clear. If she can start going to swimming therapy again, they've got a message in the system, and then they're supposed to let us know through a email or the patient portal. All right, skipping pretty far forward. I ran out to Costco today and to Price Chopper. We were out of, well, not out, we had like 1 load's worth left of laundry detergent. Grab some of that. Last load for the day going. There's always more laundry. There's always like at least 1 load a day, if not more. And then stopped and grabbed a couple more squash because 1 bowl of squash soup just wasn't enough for me. So I figured I'm gonna make a big batch. And but this is something I'm very happy about. So we have this flap right here in front of the sink that opens. There are these 2 things in here that are trays that, you know, you can keep soap and lids and well, this dish wand, for example, in there. But the thing is that whenever somebody put it on, and in fact, if you look at this one, it's got the screw from the handle like going into it. And this one is the screw from the handle, and it was going into it right there. So I had to I could not take this off, so the angle to get in here and get this undone, I had to get sockets out and like redo holes and move this over. But this was always really hard to clean out. Like I had to wipe it out with paper towels because I couldn't take it off of there. Well, now you just lift it up and out it comes, and you can wash it. Yeah, the other one, not so much. I'll have to tackle that one at another time. Casey's mom, she should be coming up here any minute now because it is just about dinner time, and we're gonna break into that roast. I am getting pretty hungry, even though I ate a bunch of snacks at Costco. Hudsyn is doing good. She's been sleeping since, well, she got home and she was upset. So Casey's mom, held her for a while and she fell asleep, and then we moved her into her chair, and I think she's still sleeping. Kathy's been down there with her. Casey just walked in the door, and Damek, I don't know, he was under me the whole time I was working on that drawer. We were playing pretend, and he kept going to the grocery store, which is this pantry in here. And he would pretend that he called me on the phone and say, Dad, what do we need from the store? And I'd tell him some items off that. Then he'd bring him in here, and it was this whole pretend thing. I'm done with pretend now. He's pretending with someone else. Just finished with dinner. Casey's mom and Casey were all sitting here at the table across in front of the sink here. So I was just doing dishes. So I didn't get to do dishes with Dan, so that's why we have a different title for today. Just thinking about being wrong. It's okay to be wrong. I know a lot of people have trouble with being wrong. I think that it's liberating to be able to admit fault. It's almost empowering because people a lot of times want to argue with you about, whatever the subject may be. Lately, of course, for a lot of people, I think it's politics, but we're definitely not going down that path on this vlog. Definitely two things I try to avoid on this vlog. Politics and religion. Same rules for drinking in a bar. As a bartender, that was one of our rules. Catch a couple of customers starting to talk politics or religion at the bar, and you're like, either stop talking about it or get out. There's this thing you can look up. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Has a lot to do with kind of the more you don't know, the more confident you are in what you think you know. That is kind of the layman's way of saying it. Look that one up, Dunning-Kruger. But I think a whole lot of people suffer from that. I'm sure that on occasion I do. I'm pretty opinionated, as you can see. I tend to have some opinions, right? And I think of myself as a fairly intelligent and informed person. But I know that there are things out there that I probably believe, and I'm probably wrong. And that's okay with me, because I know that I'm willing to change my mind if the facts are presented. I might sound like a bit of a pessimist, but I don't think that most people are. I think a lot of people, most people, it seems anyway, to me, I'm probably wrong about this, but just want to be right for the sake of being right. Me, I want to be right because it's the right thing to do, and because I can learn. I want to know when I'm wrong, basically, so that I can learn from that. Because I don't think we learn anything from just holding our beliefs. I wish I had an example of something. There were times in my life that I perpetuated a myth. In fact, a very recent one I can think of right now. In fact, I know who told me this originally. It was when I was in high school. My brother, who's a dentist, had told me that I should go into being an anesthesiologist. And one of the downsides of being an anesthesiologist was that they had to carry some of the most expensive malpractice insurance, because they, by their own hand, lost like 1 to 3 patients a year. And guess what? My mother-in-law, I quoted that, just so sure that I knew it. And I thought, no, that's not, I learned it like this. She said, well, where did you learn it? I said, well, my brother told me that. She said, well, have you ever looked it up? You have a very good point. I very well could be wrong. All afraid, because I thought, well, gosh, how many patients does an anesthesiologist see a year? 700? I mean, there's 365 days in a year. Does he work all of those days? And how many people does he put to sleep today? 2 to 3? I mean, probably 700 to 800 people, and he loses 1 to 2 of those. I mean, it's a pretty high percentage I was afraid of going into an operation for. Guess what? She was right. And I was wrong. And I said, wow, I admit, I'm wrong. That's a simple example, but it's a really good example of something that I learned when I was in high school, and I'm getting ready to turn 48 next month. Let's call myself 18. That's 30 years of believing something that wasn't true, and that I spouted that numerous times in my life and was worried when other people got surgeries, and I thought, how can you be so comfortable with getting a surgery for X, Y, and Z when the percentage seems so high, the likelihood that you could die? And it looks like I was suffering from Dunning-Kruger effect. So I guess my whole point of this putting away dishes with Dan, make sure you're not suffering from Dunning-Kruger effect. Make sure before you really get into a heated argument about something that you actually know what you're talking about. You could definitely lose friends or family over that, because you stand your ground on something and you just want to be right instead of finding out whether you actually are right or not. Damek says he's ready for bed.
Okay, Damek.
We just fed Hudsyn.
Oh, good. What was your dinner?
So, are you going to bed?
Comes to me, he goes, I'm tired, I'm ready for bed. I said, well, we gotta go down and say goodnight to Mom and Grandma. Doing better, Sneezy? Yeah? Okay. She had a bunch of snot going on today.
Bye, Mom. Bye. See you when the top made to bed.
I think actually going to probably close out the vlog too, so I'm gonna use the best. after you get done peeing. I'm going to use the best vlog closer helper ever as soon as he's done peeing. By the way, I need to flush this boy. Whew. So, Hudson's chair, it's been totally freezing outside, so couldn't take it to the car wash like I usually do. But what I do to get by is sprinkle baking soda on it, and it soaks up some of the moisture and it cuts down on the smell. Because you come in here when that chair is wet and this bathroom smells like a big sweaty person. Okay, are you ready to close this out, sleepy boy? We'll get your teeth brushed? Yeah? Did you have a good day today?
Yeah.
Hey, can you tell them what you learned about at school today? What's on Saturday?
Groundhog Day.
Mm-hmm.
And you tell them.
You tell them. You learned it.
And if the groundhog sees it settle, that means there's 6 more weeks of winter left. And then if it doesn't see it settle, then that means there's an early spring.
So what do you think's going to happen?
He's not.
He's not? Why?
Because I watched the video that he said, I'm not going to see my saddle.
Oh, okay. That's your whole reason?
Yeah.
All right. What's his name?
Punxsutawney Phil.
Very good. So that's it. Hope you're having a good Groundhog Day. I hope it's not repeating itself over and over. What, buddy?
Let me sign out the dog.
Oh, okay. Damak's going to sign it out.
To the world, you may be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. So go be somebody's word. Bam.